This is your one and only 𝐹iReSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and today I'm going to show you how to massively boost your spellcasting power in Elden Ring. Let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to take a look at here is the incantation Golden Vow. Now you're going to need 25 points invested into faith in order to cast this thing, and it's going to cost you 47 FP, which is pretty steep, but it does last for a decent period of time and you do get a pretty good damage boost using it. Now, I highly recommend using the Golden Order seal if you plan to do this because this scales with your intelligence. You can see over there, it scales with intelligence and faith, and they're both at tier B scaling at level 6. I don't know if this really affects how much it's going to boost your damage, but it's just a good one to get if you can. You're not going to be able to get it until relatively late on in the game, but it's definitely worth picking up. So first off, we're going to go over here and we are going to use the Glintstone Iceberg spell, and we are just going to give this guy a little tap. You can see our initial hit is 666 damage. So we're going to swap over here and we are going to use the Golden Vow. Now you just want to click it. If you click and hold, you'll think that it's charging, but it's not really charging. You're just delaying the cast. I don't know why this is a thing, but it is. So you're not really charging it. You're just delaying the cast when you do that. So anyway, we've cast it. You can see up there, we got a buff to our defense and a buff to our damage. Now we swap over here and we go to hit this guy. You can see we're doing 766. So we've increased our initial damage by 100. That's a really good trade-off for a spell you don't have to cast very often. You can see it lasts for a decent period of time. I would say probably about 2 or 3 minutes, give or take a little bit there. I haven't exactly timed it, but I've been running my mouth here. I've screwed up a few times and there's some cuts in here and it's still going. So it does last a decent period of time, and it finally cut out there for 47 FP and a decent increase in damage. The next one we're taking a look at is actually two. They're essentially the same thing, except one is a more OP version than the other. So the first one you can get relatively early on, super easy early on in the game, right from the get-go, and that is Determination. Then its big brother is the Royal Knight's Resolve, and you're not going to be able to get this one until much later on in the game, but once you can get it, I highly advise picking it up. You can see they both cost the same amount, and I will show you they do the exact same thing, but Determination, even though that it's the baby brother to this one here, still will give you a massive boost in damage. So essentially all you do is just activate this Ash of War. Now normally this would only last one strike and then it would go away. You can see my weapon there is glowing. If I hit this guy, I'll get a boost in damage. We did 186 and we're going to take a bunch of clubs to the face because I'm bad at timing, and you can see now we're not hitting him for a whole heck of a lot. Now the interesting thing about this incantation is that as long as it's active on your weapon, you get a damage boost. So if we pop over here and we hit this guy with the right ability, if I can click the right button, look at that. We just one-shot him. So let's let it wear off. Now remember, we were doing 666 damage with no buffs. There you go, 666. So we go from 666 to a massive 1,199. That is huge. So that's the Royal Knight's Resolve. Let's jump over to Determination. So we will cast it on our weapon and then we will attack. 666 to 1,065 is a huge increase. Huge increase for an Ash of War that you can get super early on in the game. You just put it on your weapon, bam, 1,065 damage from 666. Now the interesting thing is that we can combine these two together. So we can go over here to Golden Vow. Now once again, if we just do an attack using, let's get the Royal Knight's Resolve on here. We do the Royal Knight's Resolve and we pop over to this and we attack, actually hit the target, 1,199. Okay, so now let's pop over to the Golden Vow. We will cast this on ourselves. Now this stays up for a while, so we don't have to worry about it. We can pop back over to our staff and we can cast this, and 1,378. So we get a boost from both of these, drastically increasing the amount of damage that we can put out. Our thing wore off there, so we're going to back up and we'll hit him again. 1,105. Let's get our initial. Let's put this back up, and we still have the Golden Vow. 1,378. It's absolutely insane. And as long as your weapon is glowing, you can just spam your spells. It only goes away after a period of time or if you hit something with your weapon. If we cast it here and then we just start spamming, you can see I can just start spamming away, doing massive amounts of damage to everything, basically just one-shotting all of these guys until it wears out. That's not all, because you can combine both of these with the Terra Magicus. So the Terra Magicus, or however you pronounce that, just puts a sigil on the ground that boosts your spell power. There you go. That's it. As long as you're standing in it, and even if you go outside of it, you still have that boost for a few seconds. You can see up there at the top, and then it goes away. So it's the little pages pointing up. So we do that, and then we swap over to this, and we target one of these little guys. So we go from 666 to 899. That's a pretty decent damage boost. So then we use the Royal Knight's Resolve, and we fire again, and we're doing 1,618. We haven't even put the Golden Vow. So let's go over here. Let's initiate the Golden Vow. And then we're going to pop over here and go to the Terra Magicus again, or Magicus, or however you pronounce it. And then we'll swap back over here, activate the Royal Knight's Resolve, and 1,861. That's insane. So obviously, you're really only going to use the Terra Magicus when you're going to fight a boss that you want to use the Mega Death Beam on. I don't have it equipped right now, but Azura's, whatever it's called, Comet or whatever. When you're going to use the Mega Death Beam, that's when you're going to put this down. You're going to put this down, you're going to proc this, and then you're going to Death Beam something in the face after you initiate the Golden Vow as well, and you're going to absolutely destroy it. That thing, along with the Terra Magicus, does a ton of damage to begin with. Combining these other two is just going to make it do even more damage. But the interesting thing is that the Golden Vow actually lasts for a decent period of time. We can cast it real quick here. Bam, we don't have to worry about it anymore, and it moves with us. So does this. So does the Determination or the Royal Knight's Resolve. The great thing about these is you can just cast them and just go through and just start murdering things without really having to worry too much, because they move with you, unlike the Terra Magicus, which just sets on the ground and kind of sucks. These two are absolutely fantastic to give you huge damage boosts, and when it wears off, you just cast it again, and you can just start laying waste to everything that is in your path, one-shotting, well, pretty much everything. I mean, we one-shot a lot of stuff as it is, and this damage boost just allows us to do that much more damage, one-shotting even bigger, tougher targets. And it's really going to be really handy for you when you are in a boss fight, because you can just pop this, get a huge damage boost, and just lay waste to whatever you want to lay waste to. All right, well, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Let me know if you're already using any of these, or if you plan to use any of these down in the comments section. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and informational, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.